Sister Heba, Assalamualaikum, Insya Allah. Sesiburi.
久しぶりです。
My
How is
God.
everything?
Where is Sister Heba Mahnus
She's here.
already?
Yeah.
What about your students? Will they join?
Yes, I think they will. Inshallah.
Yeah, if they're not join through Zoom, they can access it from YouTube.
Yes.
And we will share the attendance link so they can fill their name there and then got the certificate.
Inshallah. I mean, thank you.
Oh my God, I miss you. Inshallah. You're gonna start at another 7 minutes, inshallah.
Yes, inshallah. Okay.
Can you see the webinar room? The room.
Yeah,
webinar?
mashallah.
Yeah. Most of them are my students, and the other one, the one with white T-shirt is sensei as well. So the rest are my students, and they are postgraduate students. So yeah, they are mature and full of experience.
Mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah, they are really looking forward for the lecture, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. I hope I can give them some information about Egypt.
Jadi nanti pada bertanya ya, aku udah bilang bahwa semua pada excited.
Okay, Miss, I will ask.
As the internet. Wow, my internet connection is unstable. What is it? My internet connection is unstable.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
What about you?
Everything is good. Is it stable?
Mungkin dari sini suaranya. Oh, tapi enggak ya. Tapi kalau presentasi ini mana dong? Nggak masuk ke teknisi senior itu. Mana dia? Halo, halo. Dek, ini nggak bisa, suaranya nggak keluar.
Videonya nggak keluar, Bu. Suaranya kedengeran.
Cek sound. Halo. Kenapa aku enggak? Iya, aku masuk. Iya, what's wrong with my? Aku harus tetap di sini, Bu. Apa?
Di sini coba ngomong di
Halo.
di sini ada isi di ruang ada.
Oke, apa?
Yang itu lagi yang
Tapi di headset ada. Oh, kedengeran. Oke.
suara yang lain ada di.
Oke, aku pakai mic aja. Ini aja. Pak Galus mau kemana? Pesan Jokopi masuk ke sini, tidak apa-apa. Se, se, sejutek itu sama mahasiswa S2.
Tes. Tes.
Cek sound. Cek sound. Iya. Kenapa ya? Ada apa dengan saya? What's wrong with me? Hello.
We can hear you.
Hello.
Nothing wrong.
Yeah, but people here they cannot hear me because we use
I
the
can hear you.
in the
Maybe
room
the video.
the video
I cannot
my
see
connection.
you. I can
You
hear
can-
you, but maybe I cannot see you. Yeah.
Yeah, I turn off the
I like
video.
the
The problem
avatar
now.
that Fauzia is using. Ah, you are here finally. Welcome back. You are muted. It seems that
We're going to start in the next one.
what?
It seems that my internet connection is
Maybe you
not
can close the
good.
camera and it's enough to hear you. Because the camera consumes the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the internet connection
We can
is
hear
not
you very
good.
well.
Mobile data.
Headset. Kuliah. Kenapa, Bu?
Oke. Tapi videonya nggak di like. Suaranya di like.
Video Ibu.
Oh di like. Internet connectionku nggak bagus. Sebentar kalau gitu diganti dengan coba ya. Udah mulai, Sen. Mulai aja.
I think it is fine, Tiwi.
for the description. Okay, so it's time to introduce our moderator for today. And today's moderator is Miss Andini Radisya Pratiwi SOS SME PhD. And Miss Andini has impressive educational background. She earned her PhD in
Sorry, misi Pak.
Any voice?
Hello, hello. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, I'm waiting for the reply actually. Okay, now we are going to have the main agenda for this event. That the first talk from Assistant Professor Heba Hassan Ismail. So allow me to introduce her first before we give her chance to present her lecture today. Ms. Heba Hassan Ismail is an assistant professor in architecture in Beni Suef University. And then she accomplished her PhD or doctoral engineering from Kyushu University. And she wrote many publications already. The latest publication is an analytical study to assess the effectiveness of the selection of industrial sites in Egypt through Egypt Vision 2030, case study of Beni Suef Governorate. And Ms. Heba also loved doing touring. The organizational membership for IBPSA Egypt and then IBPSA USA. Also, she's a member of GSPS Japan. And her passion is multicultural environment. So she has experience working with individuals from the various cultural backgrounds and demonstrating adaptability and respect for different perspectives. Actually, from her CV here, I for maximum 20 minutes from now on. Please, Dr. Heba.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khairan.
Hi, arigato, dozo.
Okay, Bismillah. So today my talk to you is about the green architecture in Egypt. combines the traditional aesthetics with modern eco-friendly practices. They are using it to engage the community with art and architecture center. So it is a good example for the, engaging the environment and having the sustainable and resilient for a long time. Our third example for the modern examples is Gona Film Festival buildings. It is a sustainable construction in tourism hub. So it was a tourism hub, and they used it as a sustainable construction for Gona Film Festival. The use of renewable energy and innovative water management. They promote the green architecture in the hospitality industry. So it is like an annual festival for film. It is really like good example for sustainable and resilient buildings. It really save energy, and it has a good architecture style. Our LEED certified buildings in Egypt, the LEED certification recognizes buildings that meet high sustainability standards. Egypt is home of several LEED certified buildings, setting benchmarks for green construction. So I will show you some case studies that gained the LEED certification. If you want to know more, the LEED certification is a certification for buildings that meet many criteria to reach the sustainability and the green buildings. The first case study here is Misr Italia property Il Bosco. It is a smart urban solutions integrating green spaces. It focuses on sustainability, resilience, and environmental friendliness, a model of future urban developments in Egypt. It is like designing a large scale compound for sustainability or to reach energy savings without the great or high use of HVAC or energy, and it is environmentally friendly without the use of any CO2 emissions, and so it is environmentally friendly compound. The future of green architecture in Egypt lies in integrating the heritage with more modern practices. So I showed you some heritage or cultural architecture and some modern practices. We should, for the future of our green architecture, we should combine or integrate both of them, learn from the heritage and start using the modern practices. Also embracing technological innovations, promoting the sustainable urban planning. So we should integrate three of them to reach the future architecture and future architecture innovation in Egypt. My conclusion and call to action is the green architecture is essential
country. We have around 280 million inhabitants. By having this characteristic, okay, this is the main island that we have in Indonesia, the big island. There are Sumatra, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Papua, and Java. Previously, our capital in this island, but recently moved to this island, to Kalimantan. Yes. So by having this characteristic, we face several challenges to the sustainability. The first is the rapid urbanization. And then the second is, maybe we can mute someone who speak in Arabic. Okay. The second is the high demand for resources and infrastructure. The third challenges is the produce large amount of waste and pollution. And the last one, the infrastructure inequalities. So what does the government respond? So the government is promoting the economic growth and then improving the quality and then the quantity of urban infrastructure. Not only urban, but for the whole area of Indonesia. Now let's get into the green infrastructure itself. So briefly overview about green infrastructure. The history of green infrastructure, I want to share you a little bit. So green infrastructure, actually we already have it since the ancient time, maybe since we start our life, the beginning of life, since the Neolithic period. And there is some historical background about the green infrastructure. So in China, the Shang dynasty actually cultivated elegant literary gardens, and it demonstrating a deep appreciation for nature and its ability to enhance the human life. Then the Hanging Garden, the Babylonia in Iraq, it's also one of the proof of the green infrastructure in the ancient age. And then by the time there is the proposed from the Sir Ebenezer Howard, if you are an architect, I think that you familiar with this concept, the garden city. So the Ebenezer Howard proposed that we should have like a separation between the residential and then the industrial area and also the green part. So from this moment, actually, people start to understand about the green infrastructure. And the next. This is a little bit a theoretical concept I would like to introduce to you if your background is not from planning or architecture. Green infrastructure is the interconnected network of green space that conserve natural system and provide assorted benefit to human population. This is the kind of grand theory in green infrastructure. And then the second theory is that GI is promotes low carbon and combat the climate change. And the next is talking about that GI should be integrated into spatial planning. And the last theory that GI is the all natural, semi-natural, and artificial network. So basically, green infrastructure is an infrastructure that connect us with the gray and also with the supporting of the blue infrastructure. It cannot stand alone. So it's supposed to be support with green, gray, and blue infrastructure. Here is the multiple function of green infrastructure, ranging from the flood management, climate change, our adaptation, and then recreation and leisure. There are many functions of the green infrastructure. And here is the contribution of UGI to SDGs. As you can see here, the main contribution actually at the goals 11 that regarding the sustainable cities and communities. So from 17 goals, the urban infrastructure actually support the 12 goals of SDGs. Here's the type of green infrastructure. From the biosphere and then a constructed wetland until riparian buffer, all of them talk about greenery. But actually the type of green infrastructure, it's not limited to this list. It's really depend on the situation in the country and the priority. If, for example, that the priority about the energy, so the green infrastructure will be the green energy. So do not limit it your perspective about green infrastructure only to this list. And in Indonesia, we already have the guideline about green infrastructure actually since 2018. And the guideline is derived from this regulation, law, presidential decree, ministerial regulation, national standard, and also the technical regulation. Let me show you a little bit detail that in our country, actually, we already talk about the green infrastructure, the policy related green infrastructure since 1974 about irrigation. Also in 1990, we talk about the conservation of natural resources. So we already knew about this concept of the green infrastructure, but recently people, the term is become suddenly viral, but actually we already get to know about this concept previously. And here's the stakeholder of the green infrastructure development in our country. We have the central government, the local government, the provincial, regency, and city, and the non-governmental. Non-governmental is including us, the academics, the private sectors, the media. So all of these stakeholders should be hand in hand to realize a sustainable green infrastructure. And based on a research done by the Climate Bonds Initiative, in our country, actually, they assess that the most expensive infrastructure is on transport, energy, water management, waste management, and the built environment. I'm not going to talk all of them. I will only choose transport, energy, and the built environment. This is the achievement of our SDGs in 2020 to 2024. So we already reached the goal 6, 7, 9, and 11. If it's related to green infrastructure, the goal 7 and then the goal 9, like creating the new toll road, it's also promoting the green infrastructure. Let's take a look at the case study about green transport in Indonesia. So Indonesia, we have the toll road construction already 2008, 116 kilometers by mid 2024. And since 2020, the Ministry of Public Works and Housing has launched the Sustainable Toll Road Policy. So what is sustainable toll road policy actually? So the toll road manager, they plants tree along the toll, and the numbers of total trees that we already plant along the toll road of Indonesia, it's 162.011. The trees is trembesic trees. It is well known as very effective to absorb the vehicle of carbon emission. So the
Sudah dapat
basic
Ibu
grade. Halo, bisa
yang
tolong
dicari.
di mute?
Tutup dulu Ibu.
Siapa? Tunggu ya, ada yang wait a moment, someone talking and then tolong di mute Bapak. Okay. So in 2023, the toll road management got a gold certification by having the sustainable road. So this is the first toll road that got the certification, the gold certification. It's the Gempol Pandaan. You can see it's not only the toll is nice, but the scenery also very beautiful. And the green part is help us to absorb the carbon dioxide. And the next is the Pandaan Malang toll road, also over a very beautiful scenery. And the last one is the Bali Mandara. So this one is combining between green, blue, and gray infrastructure. Sister Heba, you should come to Indonesia. I'm going to bring you to this place. Very pretty, inshallah. Okay.
I hope so, inshallah. This is my dream.
Now, another thing about green transportation project that we have mass and rapid transportation. So the first that we have the bus rapid transportation, and the second we have mass rapid transportation, and the third we have the LRT, light rapid transportation, and recently just operating is the WUSH, which is like Shinkansen, the very high speed train. It's yeah, a cooperation between Chinese government and Indonesia. And in 2023, Indonesia and Germany partnered to advance green transportation. So the evidence is the BRT system in Semarang and Surabaya, as well as railway in Surabaya province. This is the WUSH Shinkansen. And the second is the green energy project. Green energy project, because Indonesia has significant green energy project potential due to its vast area and diverse geography. First, we have Cirata Solar Power Plant in West Java. This is floating power plant and can produce about 350,000 panels, 190 MWP capacity. And the second is we have the PLTS Likupang in North Sulawesi. It produced about 21 MWP capacity. And the third, we have PLTB Sidrap. It's the wind turbine, wind power plant in South Sulawesi. This is in my hometown, Sister Heba. And the five is the Saguling hydroelectric power plant, similar with the previous one. So this is our green energy project. Our government invests a lot of in this infrastructure. This one is the Saguling is in Bandung, in West Java. So this is the water resources energy. And another thing is about built environment. Our government also invests a lot in this infrastructure. So the government built these simple, low-cost apartment buildings for the low-income residents. And the amazing thing that this apartment is a green building. So how they call it green building? Because it has low flow plumbing fixtures. It has a dual flush water closet and a rainwater harvesting system that has been installed to the curb water consumption. And another thing is that the passive design, like the control facade glass and the natural ventilation combined with the energy saving lighting also reduce the power usage. So, but only people with the low income can rent this apartment. Unfortunately, I cannot stay here. But we can adopt the idea, isn't it? And as I told you that Indonesia capital is moved to island named Kalimantan. So they call it IKN. And then it's located at the eastern part of Kalimantan and the city dominated by forest. It is forest. So we start to build the area from the scratch. And what kind of sustainability that we have in that new capital of Indonesia? We have the sustainable transportation policy. They plan to have the electric vehicle in the area. All of the people we're gonna use the electric vehicle, and then they preserve the forest because yeah, they are forests, so they need to preserve it. And because of forest, they need to act as a sponge. So you know the concept of the sponge city, I think in Singapore, they absorb the water in order not to get inflowed. And they also have the concept of the usage of renewable energy there. And the infrastructure development design adapt to natural conditions. So very close to nature, this new capital, really connecting people to nature. So here is the plan and the design. And the case study, the interesting case study that we found, the connectivity between national and local guideline. At the previous slide, I showed you that we already have the guideline on green infrastructure, isn't it? But actually, there's scholars conduct a research, try to connect that the national and the local policy is connected. The result is not connected yet. Even they use the term, the different term of green infrastructure. So that's why that we cannot have like maximize the implementation of green infrastructure, because from the policy itself, it's not connected 100% yet. And then another case study that at the local scale, they build the retention pond, the multifunction retention pond at the local scale. I think it's in Bandung, and they call it Cinteng Pond. And so it has a function not only as the retention pond, but also serve as the community space with the recreational facilities. So similar with Sister Heba green architecture. So the function is not only as a building, but also to accommodate the and social activities. And a research conduct in this retention pond after several years. And they found that the pond cannot accommodate the rainwater anymore. It's already over capacity. So that's why the government function to do a so-called maintenance, it doesn't work well in this case. So yeah, it's still a homework for us here. Doing maintenance for public infrastructure is one of our weaknesses. And I think this is the last case study. So the local developer embrace green infrastructure. There's one housing called Kota Baru Parahyangan, or New City in Parahyangan. They built this housing and integrated it with nature. So they built such a very nice housing and then surrounded with green area, connecting the inhabitant with the nature. And then here's a kind of pedestrian space. And then they do have the rain garden here, the rain garden to absorb the water, the rainwater. And last time my student did research here in this area, and they found out that all of this green infrastructure actually contribute in reducing the carbon 1%. So it's really nice, isn't it? So it is important to have the green open space in any area in order to help us to combat the climate change, to lowering the temperature. In this area, they do have the community program, which will invite the community to participate in the maintaining or take care the green infrastructure. So they call it Hayu Hejo. And surprisingly, the community, it's excitingly to join any activity held by the management. So, and then this housing also got a gold green certificate by embracing the green infrastructure. So that's all, the case study from Indonesia. Thank you very much. Okay, now let me continue my task as a moderator. Please stop share screen. How is it? Stop share. Sorry. Okay. Now I'm going to invite the last presenter, last lecturer, Associate Professor, Dr. Engineering Heba Mahrus Ali. Yeah. So hold on, Sister Heba, let me went through your CV because I opened too many windows here. So forgot where did I put your CV? Okay, hold on. Sister Heba, join us. Nah, bukan yang ini, yang Heba yang satu ini. Heba yang satu ini. Okay, wait. The other Heba. Okay, tidak ada. So, Dr. Heba Mahrus Ali Abdullah. Yeah, that's hopefully I pronounce your name. Maybe you can correct it later on. So she lives in Egypt, in El Madi, And then, okay, I want to read the personal information. And then her education background, she's an associate professor in architecture, scientific committee for architecture and planning, and PhD in environmental planning and design with her thesis on the title The Social Dimension as an Approach Toward Environmental Sustainability in Natural Research in Egypt. And then her master degree in environmental planning and design from Cairo University, and her Bachelor of Architecture, Engineering, and Building Technology is from the Modern Academy for Engineering and Technology in Egypt as well. So she has a lot of professional experience as associate professor, assistant professor, and full-time lecturer of Department of Architectural Engineering and Building and Technology of Modern Academy for Engineering and Technology. And she's also editor-in-chief of Architecture Department magazine, full-time lecturer assistant, and what else? Oh my God, she has a lot of subject as her teaching experience: environmental control, environmental architectural design, building construction, green architecture, acoustic and lighting, building envelope design. Her activities as the chairman of the Environmental Architecture Consulting in Committee of the Environmental Egypt. And then the article, oh my God. Sister Heba, I also want to share your CV, if you don't mind, to our audience. Who knows, maybe they are interested in your expertise, so they might invite you to have a joint research collaboration. Is that okay, Sister Heba?
Okay, it's okay.
Okay, thank you. Now I give you your turn to conduct your lecture in maximum 10 minutes. Time is you from now on.
Can you see it? Is it clear for you all?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
Miss,
clear.
it's clear.
Okay. Well, in the beginning, thank you for this invitation. I will open the video, then I close it.
Hi, finally we saw you.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Thanks for this nice invitation. I hope my lecture be very nice and helpful for all of you. I will talk about how to achieve green life of our communities depending on green infrastructure. Is there any aberration between them, or all of them is a different direction, so we are not able to make a green life to our community? We'll talk about the main problem which we really have today, which is climate change. If green infrastructure has a relation of what we really find these days, we'll talk about the time of knowing this definition. Green infrastructure is a new definition, or it's an ancient definition. Is there a relation between G and G? I rename it like G and G, green life structure, green infrastructure, and the green life for our community, and how to improve to our life this to be green. Sorry for this shock. I know it's a shock for all of us. If I speak about that last 10 years, anyone will hear me will think it's a very huge what happened to us. But now we really live in this time where we find high temperature, extreme weather event, raising sea level, and lose many amounts of our biodiversity. But what the relation of infrastructure? Is there a reason for that? Is it have the main impact or bad impact? For that, yes. Energy consumption has a major portion in infrastructure carbon footprint come from energy use, which is not clean, and that make it trains in energy consumption for electricity, energy come fossil fuel like coal or natural gas. It directly make a greenhouse gases emissions. Another thing is transportation from cars, airplanes, or any other vehicles that make a new, a bad impact, negative impacts of carbon print. And other one is construction from steel, concrete, production of material, which we really need to make our buildings in new techniques. So if we transform that to green infrastructure, I think we will make the new approach, which we really all the countries trying to do, which is adaptation. Adaptation will be happen when we try to improve our infrastructure to be green. So we need to know how to make it green. There is about thinking in 2050 will be 20% of the world find a risk of flood. All of these pictures is department of not only buildings, not only emissions, not only natural of our plants, but they all in the main circle. So we have to control our life depending on what we really find. Let's talk about the time of finding this definition. A green infrastructure is a both modern and a traditional approach. Modern approach, we find now this definition in urban planning. Green infrastructure is a key component process in urban planning system, focus on integration our natural to improve air quality and our biodiversity. But there is other thing, which is technological advance. It's about innovation like green roofs, permeable pavements, and rainwater harvesting system. This principles is new, which we're really trying to do these days. But actually, sorry, there is, I will get that and I will put it again. Actually, green infrastructure is an ancient practice. Traditional water management in ancient civilization used the natural water management techniques, which depending on building infrastructure, which we can find in this picture, to control water flow and enhance agriculture. There was also green spaces, historical cities and communities, frequency, integrated gardens, parks, and green spaces to be action with health and other purpose of community. So it's not a new approach. It's not a new or modern approaches. It was an ancient civilization, but in different points. So green life can be defined as a way of living supported with network of natural and semi-natural features. Green life, according to green infrastructure, is about living in harmony with natural that we are trying to design in urban planning or in environmental architecture. Green infrastructure refers to the strategy used to natural system, parks, trees, wetlands, and green roofs to manage storm water, improve our water quality, and create more livable urban spaces. Community green life can be happened or achieved by resistance and with benefits which can be by natural elements. So let's define green infrastructure to can make the main points which we can achieve or improve for our communities. It's only some elements which are storm water management techniques about rain gardens or green roofs and permeable pavements, urban green spaces such as parks, community gardens, and greenways of biodiversity. Tree country and urban forestry, planting and minting trees to improve air quality and reduce CO2 emission and achieve shade. Green roofs and walls, insulting the building roof and walls to reduce energy consumption and management storm water. Sustainable transportation, promoting walking, cycling, and public transit to reduce emissions quality. Habitat restoring natural habitats like to support biodiversity. Energy efficiency using renewable energy source and energy efficient technologies in building and infrastructure. So there is the environmental benefits and social benefits of green infrastructure. We need to know them to can complete this vision and can improve our life to be green communities. Depends on some elements, stormwater management, improving air quality, biodiversity, reducing urban heat island effect, reducing urban heat island to be more effective. I will not talk about all of this, but I chose some of the main points which we need to know in this session from environmental benefits. The main one is reducing urban heat island effect. Green roofs and urban trees can cool cities by shading. Building and the streets, if they shaded, we can reduce the need for air conduction and the lowering energy consumption. You can see on these images how building and the cars and the street pavement be the main reason to achieve heat islands, which we really depending of emissions of CO2. If we work on these points, we can reduce CO2 emission and we can save our planet, which will be in a huge problem if we got the other 2 degrees. The main points of that is trying to solve any problem which we can find by urban planning or by environmental architecture. The other one in climate change meditation. Meditation and adaptation are the new approaches, modern approaches, which we are trying to move on these days, trying to decreasing the main negative impacts of our planet depending on our lifestyle.
Recording in progress.
Building design or urban design or our operations inside our building. Trees and green spaces can absorb carbon dioxide and helping to mitigating climate change. The last one we will talk about in environmental benefits, enhancing and well-being. We can't difference, there is no difference between our community life, which depends on social benefits and environmental benefits. We're trying to, by green spaces, improve our visual appeal to urban areas and provide reactions between mental and physical well-beings. If you look to the other side, which is social benefits, health and well-being communities will be health and well-being, community development, increasing poverty values, and trying to achieve quality life. Trying to design green spaces will link it lower treat stress and other health problem. If we look about community development, green infrastructure projects create jobs and stimulate local economic. By increasing our values, we will study how to provide located near green spaces higher value. Benefits of green infrastructure depending on reducing pollution, increasing natural habitat, manage flood risk, and enhance safety, reduce heat islands, and keep water for local clean. How we can support our life by green infrastructure? Why we don't trying to be having urban parks and greenways, trying to change our man-made environment depending on urban parks and greenways will provide spaces, improve air quality and urban heat island effect, supporting biodiversity. Green life will depending on residents can enjoy outdoor activities and to connect with natural will have experience improve physical and mental well-being. Green roofs and walls, the benefits will be reduce stormwater runoff, include building, create habitat for wildlife. Green life will happen when building occupants experience improve indoor air quality, reduce energy cost, and more pleasing environment. If we talk about pavements, pavements have a main role in CO2 emission. If we allow rainwater to influence ground, reducing runoff and erosions, green life will create more walkable and bikeable urban spaces, improve air quality, and support health soil. Rain gardens and biowells will absorb stormwater runoff, filter pollution, and rechange groundwater. To achieve green life, communities benefit from cleaner water sources, reduce flooding risk, and landscape features. So, if we depend on green infrastructure, green life will be stronger connection with natural, recognizing the role of ecosystem in sustaining human well-being. With that will be include living in our near green spaces, parks or forests or wetlands, incorporated natural into built environments by using or designing green roofs, vertical gardens, and rain gardens, minimizing the ecological footprint by reducing resources consumption and waste generation. I get will be finished in just a minute. Sustainable infrastructure will be in green life on infrastructure that be designed and managed from sustainable transportation system, water efficiency practice, and renewable energy sources. Green infrastructure will be in this toward a greener life, expand urban green spaces, promote use of fertile surface, increase urban trees carbon and integrated green infrastructure. Thank you for your listening, and I hope my lecture be very useful to all of you. Thank you again.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you, Dr. Herba. It's useful. You make very detailed about green infrastructure. Thank you very much. Now we are get into the next agenda, which is a Q&A session. I'm expecting the student either from Egypt or Indonesia. They're supposed to ask question, yeah? Please ask them a lot of question about Egypt. Hello. From now on, I give an opportunity to the participant, either the offline one, because we have student doing the offline one here, and the online student, there are 48 in the room. It's supposed to be a lot than 48, actually. Where are they? It's supposed to be like 70, 80. Okay, any question? If you cannot say it, maybe you can just type it at the chat box. I can read your question. Ah, there's a question from at the chat box. I'm Sufyan from Sanggabuana University. I would like to ask the question, are there many plant varieties in Egypt? Are plants often used in architecture in Egypt? Are there any obstacles to use the plants because the land in Egypt is desert? Thank you. So I think that both of you can answer it. Who first? Sister Heba Hassan or Sister Heba Mahrouz?
Okay, plants in Egypt is here. We don't have any obstacles for plants and for having a lot of plants, but the environment is not very like a heavy rain like Indonesia. So we don't have like a large forests. We already have large desert because it is a desert climate. It is harsh climate, so we have like plants, but beside the river Nile. So on the river bank, right and left, we have a lot of all greeneries, all type of greeneries. We it is very large and all like diversity of many type of or many kinds of plants and trees. But it's not continental like you. It is like North Mediterranean kinds. So it is not very dense and very high like Indonesia. Maybe Dr. Heba can add something.
Thank you, Sister Heba Hassan. What about Sister Heba Mahrouz? Do you want to add the
I will
answer
just
from
say,
Sister Heba?
yeah, I will just say now in Egypt there is a new approaches to achieve environmental buildings. They always trying to make artificial planting or natural planting, but depending on the amount of using water. We found now we found not only in Egypt but all countries a huge problem in consumption of water. So we now trying to do that to improve building operations and also to trying to achieve shading to streets which we find. For desert, I can't talk about this point as it's not architecture vision, depending on planting vision, consumption of water, river amount of using for new planting in desert. According to architecture vision or urban planning, there is many experience done in Egypt in different countries, different spreads.
Shukron, thank you very much.
Hello. Okay, the next question. You have another question from Miss Candy. How do Egyptian people do the water preservation since the rainfall is quite rare? Is there any regulation from the government about water conservation? Who wants to answer? Maybe Sister Heba Mahrus.
Well, if we talk about government rules, it's not difficult for water consumption. All of that depend on using or consumption from people. If they have any awareness about the importance of using efficiency water in their buildings, actually they're trying to be more effective. But the main point here, it's not only rules, it's about awareness of the impacts of consumption of water for planting, for watching, for building operations. I think it not depend about rules.
Large scale until now.
Okay, thank you, Sister Heba. Let's check another.
Please give
question.
us some rain from your country.
Yeah, we'll send you. We have a lot of rain.
We are very happy for
Any
that.
other question? Okay.
Can I ask some question, ma'am?
Okay, the master of ceremony want to ask a question.
You can hear me? Okay, my name is Siva. I have a question that what is the hardest part to implement the green infrastructure in Egypt, especially As we know, to make the successful green infrastructure implementation, we need a big contribution also from the government as well as the resident of Egyptian also. What is the hardest part?
What is the hardest?
What is the hardest part to implement the green infrastructure in Egypt?
Maybe Dr. Heba Mahrous can answer this question.
What is the challenging in implementing green infrastructure in Egypt?
Well, now I will speak now not academic stuff. I will talk about being head of environmental consulting commits in Egyptian syndicate. Now trying to achieve new green projects in Egypt, trying to